morning, Internet. It's been a while, hasn't it? I'm sorry about the hiatus I had after my last video. I'd felt a little bummed out from recording difficulties on the Tegg games, and however, I'm back, and we might find some things that we can do today. Let's start by heading back to my base and paying it a visit, see if anything's changed. What's this? What's this? It looks like my nether tunnel now actually connects up to the main tunnel without having a 1x1 or 1x2 sketch doorway. The entirety of the blast shield is done. I can't imagine how that happened. Must have been some friendly neighborhood ravine crew leaving a present for me. Well, the path on through isn't fully finished, but it looks like a lot of progress has been made. And one of these times I will fly through here successfully without face planting into any of the leaf blocks, but you won't see that version on screen. My nether portal looks different. Did I sleep build? Apparently. Nice and pretty. And we have a bridge heading over to my gate. You know what? I have a horse. Let's do a horseback. Well, it wouldn't be welcome back without some phantoms to remind me that I can take as much IRL breaks as I want, but in-game, my character still hasn't slept. However, it looks like a nice bright morning that's burning away all of the haze of exhaustion. This is outside my walls, but it looks like I have put some other things hidden on it. Now let's write. How long has that building been there? Walls are extended? Looks like I've changed up slightly and included some stone and andesite in the palette of that wall. But given that that palette starts to look a little wonky when you have it an excessively tall wall, makes sense. The beehives haven't changed since last time we were through here, but there's a shrine up on that hill. Beacon effect. And a lovely place to watch the sunrise. Which is, of course, why it immediately starts raining, so that I can't greet the sunrise with you guys. Thank you, Universe, for, or thank you, Minecraft. Now let's glide on down, see if my tunnels has changed much. Not certain if the glowberries were here last time, but they fit the atmosphere. The path used to stop about here, didn't it? And I found an amethyst geode sometime while we were away. So not all that much really has changed for me between this episode and the last. But we have a bunch of small things. small details that I've worked on, like bringing down more of the black candles. And, like the dripstone having combined into one solid dripstone pillar over here that I haven't harvested. And even with the rain, my village is still lovely. An overcast sky is not going to stop me from staring up at the hill. The fact that I have a boredom span of about 15 seconds, on the other hand, will. And since it looks like the Tegg games are going to be over soon anyway, and I'm probably not going to get the Tegg back before someone wins, I may as well also show off what I have done for the Tegg puzzles, complete this time with the full solution of how it worked and where I'd hidden the Tegg. So, see you there. Well, I managed to get myself stuck in a mildly interesting location while trying to fly into the ravine portal. And now I am unstuck. And by this point, I have had the Tegg 3 times through the Tegg games. And so I'm going to cover all 3 of my hiding spots. The first of them was located off of this area, and hint you will need ender pearls is entirely accurate. Now we come on in. It's not hiding up there because I could barely find any spot up there to hide in. Hello, Endermite. Oh well, the Endermite can just linger. And welcome to the Lost Woods Mark 1. Complete with an awful lot of maze that didn't actually matter. Because the Tegg hiding spot had been over where that barrel currently is. Related, I put these in so that someone who was coming on through could claim a bit of a prize for finding this if they wanted to, given that we'd had varying people traditionally offering prizes on around for starting with D, we'd set up a little bit of a tradition around leaving prizes in our Tegg puzzles even if we didn't have the Tegg at the time. So that once the Tegg had been found, other people could still get something for completing the puzzle. There were actually 2 hiding spots in here, one of which was significantly easier to get into than the other. I'm physically capable of getting... There we go. That only took a silly amount of tries. I'm going to leave that puzzle prize there so that anyone who can physically get in here is welcome to it. I may not have provided enough ender pearls for people to explore. This is my Tegg puzzle, so I am perfectly allowed to break my own way out. I know that it's possible to ender pearl out of there, but doing so is tricky. And of course, we have the red herring of the entire maze, complete with an awful lot of black wither roses that A, penalize people for wandering too far along the maze without slowing down, and B, look like highly suspicious black objects for people looking for a highly suspicious black object. I also just left this as a possible red herring. It's not going to slow people down for more than about 5 seconds. But that's an extra 5 seconds it slows people down for. And I could not be bothered finishing cleaning up the Lost Woods construction area. And somewhere around here there is an endermite. And are there still ender pearls sitting on around for the escape? And it doesn't actually matter because I have a pickaxe with me. Huh! I actually managed to get out on the first try that time. Normally it takes me 2 ender pearls to do that. And that was where I hid the Tegg for the first version of the Tegg puzzle. I'm going to leave that in my wall of fame. As for my second and third Tegg puzzles, they were both in the same location, which was down in the newly christened Puzzle Ravine, which I ended up christening because other people took too long to decide where the Puzzle Ravine was going to be, so I just found a nice section of wall and started building. There had initially been an iron door here, because I'd known I was going to do some stuff with iron doors later on, and when you made a set of 3 of them, it makes a good indicator of where the game starts. And we have the exit tunnel. And a maze of twisting passages all alike where you have to crouch. And every dead end being visually marked with a warped wood section, something a bit like this. By the end of it, D, who had solved my maze the first time, was about ready to yell at, or was maybe not quite about ready to yell at me, but was firmly of the impression that I build some very evil mazes. And I can remember the solution to my own maze, probably. Also, why is my mouse not working? This is not the right path. You'd think after the number of times I've walked along through here, I'd be able to remember how to solve my own maze. Wouldn't be true, but you'd think that. So, since I can't remember what the solution was for the first half of the maze at this point, because it's been too long, I am about to use my sneaky pickaxe powers. Or possibly my sneaky redstone powers. To open up the exit tunnel. Let's go sneaky redstone powers. Now, oh good, that did get closed up. Yeah, you can see that it's physically impossible to get back up here without... or that the dripstone sets up a one-way passage. That was deliberate. because it was intended to make anyone running through the version 3 of the Lost Woods to have to go do an entire loop back through the maze to slow them down a bit longer. Because yes, I am that evil. The 2 prismarine blocks were added between the Lost Woods Mark II and Lost Woods Mark III because having the access tunnel here in the lake made it a lot easier for me to go back and work on the maze after I made the mistake of putting in the bamboo in the initial section before I had finished laying out all of it, and therefore that it kept slowing me down so much when I went back to try to work on it. Lost Woods Mark II had the Tegg sitting here. Lost Woods Mark III, meanwhile, has a hint. And I believe I can remember how the path for version 3 went because I was working on that one far more recently. The bamboo on that one's missing. Oops. However, it looks a lot different with the bamboo in place. Looks a lot different with the bamboo in place, and which would explain why I ended up wandering down the dead end. That's a dead end. And that's the fork I was trying to find. Some of the particular cases, the bamboo has grown far enough from one of the sides you can slip past it without crouching. But in most of the cases it doesn't, and you have this very slow wall of roses and bamboo. The roses to block sight lines, the bamboo to forcibly slow people down. And both of which to look pretty. It's also, as you can kind of see, a very large maze. Trying to build the reason that the first hiding spot had been over by the lake had been that I physically could not get it built in the time limit for how long you have between acquiring the tag and placing it. And we see a perfectly ordinary dead end. Or not so ordinary dead end. There had been a pedestal where the tag had been, which has been mined out. And if you'd gotten this far, you then had to go back and find where I put the key. Now, before I spoil the reveal and brute force my way on through a bit sneakily, can you guess where the key was? Or what the key was? Ignore the sounds of zombies, we are above a mine shaft that has not been fully lit. That was the key. It also opened up my storage room, which I did in fact use as a storage room repeatedly through this. We still have some leftovers from having built the maze. including a golden apple. I don't know why there's a golden apple left over from building this maze. So, what do you think? Evil enough for someone who does barely any Minecraft redstone? Some interesting hiding spots that might have taken you a little bit of time to find? So, I crunched the numbers on who has what placements in the Tegg games. Magenta is in first place at 499 days out of 500, which means that should they acquire the Tegg even once more, they will automatically win. Pleco at 439 days out of 500 is only highly probable to win should they reacquire the Tegg rather than guaranteed. Cal, at 357 days, is in third place, but they currently have the Tegg, so provided none of the Forerunners take it off them, they're likely to be in a better position by the time it comes back around. And there is a possibility that they will win outright on the grounds that their current puzzle has not been solved and might not be solved. And at a very distant fourth place, there is me with 163 points, having just barely broken into the running. Everyone else is below 100 points. Now, my very distant fourth place is kind of sad compared to everyone else, given that I've got about a third of the points of the leading Forerunners. Sad. However, I have broken a full 100 days of score, have acquired the Tegg multiple times, and have built some very pretty things. There are some very pretty and mildly evil mazes in the pursuit of my Tegg-related victory. So I count it as a personal success for the Tegg puzzles I have built. Especially when you consider how little redstone went into them. And Minecraft characters need a better jumping animation. This is just not bouncy enough. Well, good night, Internet. See you again in the next episode, and hopefully with a shorter hiatus.